What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I figured I'd give you a little update on the Hoka Rincon 3 after 150 miles. So I just went over 150 miles in the Rincon 3 real quick. Hoka did send these to me to review. I already did that. Full review, top right corner, you can take a look at that and see all the details. This will just be a little update on how the durability is going. Before we get too much further though, if you wouldn't mind giving the video a thumbs up, it helps out a lot and I would really appreciate it. So this past weekend I went out for a 22-mile long run in the Rincon 3. I've also gone on like 18-mile long runs, quite a few long road runs with this shoe. And it did great Saturday, the 22 miles. That put me over the 150. I think I'm at like 152 miles now. And my foot felt great during that entire run. It was fantastic. I didn't have any foot fatigue in the heel and the forefoot, anywhere. It just felt great. And it wasn't a super easy run. It also wasn't hard. It was kind of just a steady run. You can take a look at it on the screen. It was, 22 miles. And it just, all on the road, all on the pavement. So this shoe still did fantastic. The midsole of the Rincon 3 has been one of my favorite from Hoka's. It's just the perfect balance, for me, for my foot, the perfect balance of comfort, response, and just, yeah, good times. I really do love the shoe. This is probably over, the last 5-6 years of running, the Rincon line has probably been my favorite out of all the shoes out there. But in case you don't remember, this shoe is a 5mm drop. It's got 29mm in the rear, 24 in the front for that 5mm. And for the weight, when it was new, it weighed 8.3 ounces or 236 grams. Let's see what it's weighing right now. There is a little rock stuck in the shoe there, but 235 grams right now and still 8.3 ounces. So not much wear on the shoe. You can see if you take a look at the outsole, there is definitely a little bit of wear starting to show on the shoe after 150 miles, especially on, this is my right shoe, the right heel. You can see the rubber starting to wear there a little bit. But otherwise, the right shoe looks pretty darn good. There's really not a ton of wear on that outsole. If we look at the left shoe, there is a little difference. The heel looks fine on the left shoe. But on the midfoot portion of the shoe, you can see the EVA exposed here is starting to wear quite a bit more than on the right foot for some reason. And also the rubber up here on the toe-off portion is a little bit more worn as well. So I guess it just has to do with my gait cycle and how I move through that. But yeah, a little bit of wear. And if you look at the midsole, you can see there is some compression starting to show on that as well, just a little bit. Nothing crazy that I would be, overly concerned with after 150 miles. For both of the shoes, they both look pretty good. And just for reference sake, here I have the Hoka Rincon 2. Was a fantastic shoe for me. I have plenty of the Rincon 1s as well. Same stack height, 5mm drop, 29, 24, all of that. Very, very similar shoe. But this shoe has over 300 miles, I think roughly maybe 304, 305, and I'll put it on your screen so you can take a look. This shoe has quite a bit more wear. If we take a look at the outsole, you can see quite a bit of difference. And what's key to note is if you see right here on the toe off and on the midfoot portion of the shoe versus the Rincon 3, you can see there's quite a bit more rubber on the Rincon 3, and that's really helping with the durability. The Rincon 2 is completely torn up the exposed EVA. I mean, it's destroyed. The heel is a little bit of wear as well. Take a look at the right foot now of the Rincon 2. Again, the EVA exposed here is really shredded. This looks like a 300-mile worn shoe for sure. Looking at the midsole, the compression, there is a little bit more creases, a little bit more wrinkles that you would expect to see in a shoe that has 300 miles on it. So I would say though that the addition to the Rincon 3 of that extra rubber right here is going to be key with the durability. I think as far as the wear to the outsole goes, I think this is going to go beyond the 300 miles of the Rincon 2. I think this will easily go 350 to tops 400 still probably. And the midsole, like I said, on that 22-mile road run, it felt great. It still felt, I wouldn't say as fresh as when I took it out of the box, but it felt really good. I went for a run not too long ago in the Rincon 2s. This was probably just a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And in that first half mile, I could feel right away that this shoe felt dead in the forefoot for sure. There just wasn't that cushion that I want, and there wasn't that little bit of responsiveness. So this shoe is about to get retired. It's just, yeah, it feels flat. The Rincon 3 though, however, at 150 miles still feels really good. I think this midsole has probably another, I'd say at least another 200 to 250 miles in it before it gets that same dead feeling. So I'm really hoping to get this one to 350 miles. I think that's probably realistic as the upper limit of the shoe, just with the makeup of the midsole. But overall, I am very pleased so far with the wear of the Rincon 3 to the midsole and the outsole. It's been great. Another spot that I've noticed that there's really not a lot of wear yet is on the heel of the shoe. But if you take a look at the Rincon 2, you can see this obviously is 300 miles, so twice as much as these. But the heel on the Rincon 2 is quite worn. I mean, the fabric is broken, it's opened up. There's none of that on the Rincon 3 yet, not even really any kind of hint of that. A little bit of discoloration, but overall, it looks pretty darn good. So the upper as well, no nicks, no snags, no torn pieces at all on the Rincon 3. It looks great. But honestly, the Rincon 2 does as well for 300 miles. I mean, it's a road shoe. You're not going to be running on the trails where you're snagging rocks or sticks or whatever, hitting down trees. I mean, the upper looks almost brand new on this shoe. So I'm not expecting the upper on the Rincon 3 to show really any signs of wear. This is just, it's a good road shoe upper. It's going to last. Now after having, 150 miles in this shoe, 300 miles on the Rincon 2s, I will say though, there is one thing about the Rincon 2 that I like better than the Rincon 3, and that's going to be the tongue. The tongue of the Rincon 2, in my opinion, is superior. Has a little bit more cushion to it, a little bit more padding. It's thicker. It doesn't slide down in like the Rincon 3 does. I mean, just sitting here at the shoes, you can see one is definitely lower than the other. That's this one. This one, however, the Rincon 2, stayed put a little bit better and protected the top of the foot just a little bit more. So I really hope that Hoka will go back to a little bit more cushion and just a tongue that goes up a little bit higher for the Rincon 4 whenever that comes out. So there you have it, 150 miles in the Hoka Rincon 3. Overall, I am quite impressed with the shoe. The midsole still feels really good. The outsole looks a lot better than the Rincon 2 did, and even the Rincon 1s at 150 miles. The addition of that rubber is just critical to the wear on this shoe. I think that's really going to help a lot. So the Rincon 3 is still a fantastic shoe to buy, especially at $115. I mean, you cannot beat this shoe as a daily trainer. Even as a racing shoe, I mean, this is one you can easily go faster in. You can run fast tempo miles, half marathons in this shoe. Depending on other shoes, I could easily run a marathon in this shoe without a problem. So yeah, let me know down below in the comments if you've had the Rincon 3 and you've got 200, 300, 400 miles in the shoe, what your wear has been like. I think that would really help everyone out and know what the durability of the shoe might be. But yeah, let me know. I'll be curious to see your thoughts. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate you all. If you want to take a look at that full review of the Rincon 3, it's going to be right on this side of your screen. Go check that out. And then over on this side will be a playlist of other shoe reviews as well. So thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you on the next one.